I think that the main insecurity that all men have had growing up is that they aren't as mature, independent, or manly as they should be at their age. And that they need to let go of the comforts of depending on their mother and society as a whole to grow themselves. In the past, young men were able to channel this insecurity into meaningful, healthy development because they were surrounded by healthy male role models and tight-knit communities that weren't emasculating. These older mentors gradually gave them independence and, most importantly, taught them what their meaning was until that specific day came when they could be sworn into manhood. But nowadays, men are isolated from these male role models most of the day as they are in school or work, and they are told to find their own meaning instead. However, since our communities are so atomized that we often don't even know our neighbors' names, we look to the one source of knowledge that never sleeps: the internet. Now, the internet will never push back on what you do, say, or think. Instead, it's there to reaffirm what you already believe. So instead of there being a feedback loop of getting the most healthy, realistic mindsets, instead these young men adopt the mindsets that are the most convenient to cope with their insecurities. And there are 4 main trendy mindsets, pills of ideas per se, that end up being pitfalls for millions of young men. The first pill is, of course, the red pill. Usually following the philosophy of Andrew Tate, these red-pilled men usually seek to establish dominance and control over women. However, this makes its own masculinity even more fragile since it now depends on validation from other people's fear and negative emotions. Black pillars, aka incels, believe that since they were born below a certain attractiveness threshold, it's over for them. Since they see masculinity as something that they can't have because they weren't born with it, instead of something they can grow over time, they instead choose to dwell on nihilism. Some men think that they need to just wait for the right, perfect girlfriend to show up for them and fix them for them. But this attitude breeds parasocial relationships with influencers, celebrities, and fictional characters. But the most dangerous attitude here is a blue pill, men who think that society and the government are coordinating a secret agenda to emasculate them. They think that the only way they can truly achieve manhood is to slay this monster by becoming a radical. However, the best attitude, the only healthy attitude in life, is to focus on building strong, healthy, and balanced connections with other people, and by incrementally improving yourself. Part 2 is coming out soon, but let me ask you this: which pill do you think is the most common in the people around you?